Hey guys, and I'm today at Lincoln Model Show. It is a very rainy day. I have had quite a tumultuous journey to get here. It has been flooding on some of the roads. It's been a nightmare, but we're here. I'm very excited. This is the first show I was actually invited to. They asked me to come on. So hyped. This show's kind of emotional me because my family is from Lincolnshire, or half of it I guess is from Lincolnshire. And my grandma passed away a couple of years ago, so this is the first time I've been back in the county since seeing her for the last ever time. So yeah, anyway, that doesn't really matter. I'll see you later. Let's get into the show. Welcome to Lincoln Model Showdown, and this is at Lincoln Christ Hospital School. It took me a couple of hours to get here, but it's really easy to find. It was well signposted when I got there as well, and there was enough parking. Parking wasn't an issue. It is a slightly smaller show. You can see the two halls available, this one with the competition room behind there, and then Lincoln's display at the end, and then the other hall being the main hall. We're starting at Lincoln's display then, which is in that first hall area that we showed, and what a varied display they had. From a miniature representing Squid Games to an aircraft carrier to Digimon, like this display was really varied and really showed how far modelling as a hobby and as a group has come since the early days. And I won't lie, the aircraft carriers I think stole the show for me. I really adore these. I don't think I'd ever make one. I think I would just want to give up on it. But seeing these F-35s on this aircraft carrier just looks absolutely incredible. And we have a Russian counterpart here, an older version with a Yak-38, their version of essentially the Harrier on display there. So yeah, what a lovely duo that they had. As I mentioned earlier, there was a representative from Squid Games there, which looked really bright and fantastic. Followed by this Egyptian Spitfire, which I couldn't resist. Now, Machine Draymon really took the show for the Digimon, and the person who made them said they are really happy that they've, found a place for Digimon models, and they joined sort of the Gunpla group, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm glad that this side of modelling is really starting to become more and more accepted, and it's hopeful that it will mean that modelling will move forward and bring in new people. Next up then we have Newark, and Newark we've seen at I think every show I've been to this year, so not surprised to see them here at Lincoln's show. And starting off with this Jeep with this lovely woman in a sailor's uniform, and we've got the eggplanes. You can see the one in the distance, a much smaller version of the one in the foreground, and then we've just got a couple of tractors pulling their guns there as well. We're now moving on to the Airfields modelling seg, and this table looks very different to how it usually does. A lot of dioramas, which I'm a fan of, a lot of aircraft in unusual schemes or in unusual markings, which again, I'm a massive fan of. So yeah, very different to how they normally do it, but I love it. The Hobbit, I mean, it would have been better if it's Lord of the Rings, but fantastic New Zealand's aircraft. And this diorama here just looked very dramatic. And this tiger watching over a horse and some sheep by a brook. And this FW-189 with aircrew in Slovak markings, followed by this Vulcan, which, I mean, what can you say? The Vulcan is an icon of itself. We're now moving over to Wakefield with their sort of deep red tablecloth and a really lovely display here. Again, a lot of variety, which we love to see. But a couple of things caught my eye on this table. This diorama I think we've seen before, but it's just really effective. And I really loved how this sea king was just laid out. It just looked gorgeous. We then have this sort of 1800s British troop, and this Albatross C1, which I love the paint scheme on it. It looks amazing. We're now heading over to Wisbech, and this is again another group I've seen at quite a few shows. A couple of things here that I think may have been sort of slightly changed or rebased, but it could just be that I haven't seen them in a while as well. Really colourful display. This is always very different to a lot of the displays that are around them, and some military at the end as well. I loved this duo of the training aircraft in their special liveries. First they were looking at this lesser spotted woodpecker, which is a 1-to-1 Airfields miniature. I wish they still did all these birds. They're amazing. And this is diorama, I think, was based. I'm not sure. Again, I still love it. I love the use of natural materials as well to really make it so much more dramatic. And the mirrored base with these two aircraft with their liveries on just looks absolutely superb. Like, you did a cracking job on both of these, honestly, amazing. Now moving on to Leicester Modelers, and the train again takes center stage. I think it always will on their displays. I think the submarine gives it a really good sense of scale as well. Like, guys, this thing is absolutely huge. I mean, this is a tank on one of the trailers of the train with a figure on it. It's just amazingly large. This table I wasn't sure who it belonged to, so I think it's Models for Heroes, but I'm not too sure. But I do recognise a couple of these models, so that's why I'm assuming it is. Unfortunately, there wasn't someone right there for me to ask, as you can see, so I do apologise if it was a different club. But next to that, on the black tablecloth, we do have Models for Heroes, and again, really good cause that they raise at each model show they go to. And yeah, I really loved a couple of the models that are on display today, particularly the Spyro, which just so much attitude in this Spyro. It looks awesome. This really dramatic crash scene, just how the water looks on the wing. This Predator tank, which was just in a glorious pink, I just couldn't resist. And this sort of Chimera, which I just thought was really amazing. Now heading over to Cleveland, and the thing that really stole this table for me is, well, there were two things. Firstly, the Hercules, because my dad has served on them, so that will always hold a special place in my heart. But also just the plow scene, which you'll see in a moment. But yeah, but this Hercules, honestly, absolutely stunningly made. It is, honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. I cannot fault this. Couple of Gunpla on here as well, or Gundam figures I should say, and then we've got this Intruder, which just looks amazing. This is the plow scene I was on about. I don't know why I love these like everyday life scenes so much, but every time we've seen them, I just think they're amazing. They're just so full of character, so full of life. They're just lovely. I just love them. We're now at SIG 144. This is always one of my favourites. I say it in almost every single show, but again, they did not fail to disappoint. I don't know whether what I thought was the best today on the table was stuff that I've seen before or not, but you know, we'll find out. So there's a couple of Star Wars features, but this F-16, honestly, I want to buy this. I want this on my desk. It's so cute. I love it. And these prototypes as well, like so many unique examples. I don't know, duo of Hercules, like honestly, 144 SIG, your table just always slays. I just love it so much. And finishing with this F1 Mitsubishi, yeah. So following from that, then we have West Norfolk IPMS, and guys, they win the cutest model award from me, at least. So you know, get ready to see that, because it's so cute. They have their show coming up in June next year, so they're already advertising for it, so make sure you attend it if you can. So we have this Jaguar here looking really weathered, and this the Lost TSR2 as it was labelled, which is just gorgeous. And a Gannet, I mean, you can't go wrong really with a Gannet, can you? And this one's the cutest model award, this Daimler Mach 2 armoured car. So yeah, cutest of the displays, I think. Now over to Beaver Club, which I think I've said wrong in every previous video, so I do really apologise, but thank you for correcting me on it. But yeah, a lot of variety again. I love this AT-AT with the snow and how the snow compacted into the feet, this squished up little Lancaster eggplane, this weird tractor helicopter hybrid, just yeah, and I loved how the ground look on the Spitfire. Maybe it's had a really rough landing. So yeah, just an awesome display. Now IPMS Rutland, you can see the two speeder bikes off to the side. Guys, if you want to see those, look at my previous videos, or maybe have a look on the website. But yeah, this Scorpion is the thing I focused on today, representing the Falklands. And this World War I French soldier, it's just horrifying really, isn't it? This reminds me of sort of Conflict 47 from bolt action, but it's front 4.6, and this is a Challenger 2 in this awesome sort of digital style camouflage. We're now heading over to Rotherham and Sheffield IPMs, and again a really nice spread, less varied, more focusing on aircraft, but hey, every club has their focus and that's not always a bad thing. This Chinese diorama at the back, I had to use like Google Translate on images to check it was, but it is. And it's B-24 with this beautiful nose art. I handily paid Victor, how could I not take a picture, because it's the Victor, like, you know, the best of the V-bombers in my opinion. After this we're heading over to Sheffield Model Group, and an amazing set of busts and figurines in the middle. These foreign service P40s in Egyptian and Turkish looked awesome, and this is Lynn Acrobat, just looks stunning next to this Jetstream 200. After this though we have the first of the figurines. So this is a Prussian soldier, and I just think Prussian soldiers look amazing, and this is Lithuanian, which I don't think I've ever seen a Lithuanian Lancer from sort of the 1800s. That was amazing. We're now heading over to Yorkshire Black Sheep modelers. I don't think I've seen these since Milton Keynes maybe. Again, really well laid out display. Everything was such high quality. It made me just think, wow, I really want to improve and become as good as these modelers, because absolutely astounding level of technique on display here. I mean, look at the Spitfire, weathered. It's obviously previously RAF, now it's going over to United States Air Force. And yeah, like the weathering on every aircraft looks amazing, and the Italian camouflage on Cessna 29 just gorgeous. In a set of vehicles, yeah, I don't know all the vehicles' names, so I just thought I'd get all of them because they look really good together, to be perfectly honest. So we're now moving over to Northern England Airfields, and these guys were so lovely. Just chatted to them about my really long nails whilst I was filming this, so hence why it's probably a little bit slower, but yeah, a really lovely group of people. I always take a picture of their sycamore normally, so I've avoided doing that today to try and get some variety. But they just focus on reproducing aircraft that served in Northern England airfields, as their name suggests. It means you get quite a wide variety of aircraft. As you can see here, a Vampire and a Beaufighter next to each other. You get all sorts. They also do things like this, which is the airfield control tower, which I think looked stunning, and this Bristol Bloodhound missile as well. And again, it's just one of my favourite SIGs to see. They just always have something different. These Bristol monoplanes look fantastic, and this RAF trainer as well. It might seem an obscure focus for a SIG, but I think it's absolutely amazing. They do great work, so well done guys. Now heading over to Trent Valley Modelers. Really packed display here, looked really cool. A couple of things again took my eyes, particularly the female Predator that you're sort of seeing coming into frame now. Just really looks incredible. Like, wow, that's just a stunning, really well painted model. We've got Muttley here as well, and an Israeli Osprey, which I know we're never going to see them, but yeah, they look so good in those colours. We're now heading over to Finland and Spalding, and I love that you can see the models they're working on in the background. You've got to do it at model shows, because if you attend a lot of them as a display, you need to keep yourself occupied. This Formula Racer looks absolutely amazing, and it sort of lords over those two minis that were below that I just thought looked really cute. And I want to say this is a Wildcat. It's in sort of like a pink scheme, not sure why, it looks amazing. Starting the last row of model clubs then, we're at North Riding Gidsborough, and yeah, really a lovely display, couple of dioramas, one in particular I thought looked fantastic. Oh look, a Snowbird, I wonder if I've done a video. Click the card to see that one. Oh, a CF100? Again, click the card to see my video on the CF100. We've got an Orc mech here looking menacing in Badminton colours, and this Dornier float plane, which is in medical assistance colours, and this Harvard that's crashed, and they're helping the pilot trainee get back, and a G50. I mean, come on guys, we're really going to go through a whole show without a G50? Come on. We're now heading over to Bridlington and Wolds. Again, fantastic array on display. I love the ships in the background. There was a French ship that I couldn't quite get a picture of, the Strasbourg. So I've got HMS Dreadnought here. I had a picture of the Strasbourg, but it just doesn't look particularly nice. Also, this is 144 scale tornado. And these are a lot of older aircraft from, you know, the very earliest flights. Finally, we're at Scunthorpe Model Club then. The display is really well broken up, really well set out, and the two models I think I love the most are right at the end there. We have this lovely little Triceratops though, which just looks amazing, and a Spitfire display where they're heading off to refuel the aircraft. A couple of again sort of Gunpowder models in the middle. This Matilda I thought had a really unique camouflage. I'm not really sure of it. And this is actually a chieftain in like almost sort of pre-digital camo from the 1980s. And this is what I was on about, this Iranian, she's 57 isn't it? And this F117 as well. Like, what a way to sort of end your display off with them. Amazing. We're now at the Bomb Command SIG. So obviously everything here is a bomber, but it seems to do sort of medium, light and heavy, so that's really cool. So we've got the Armstrong Whitworth bomber here first of all, and then we've got to look at this Lancaster, which I think just has fantastic weathering on the wings. It just looks absolutely amazing. And finally, the last one we're looking at today, well, sort of, is the New Zealand SIG. Still hoping at some point though they're going to get a CT4, because I feel like that's an icon of New Zealand aviation. But I'll accept a couple of their cute gliders and Spitfires that they have on display for now. But yeah, I love the New Zealand SIG. It's always a really lovely little display. And this table was next to New Zealand SIG. Again, there wasn't anyone there and I wasn't sure who it was, so let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was it. That's Lincoln Model Show. I really enjoyed my time there. It was a small show, I would say, compared to some of the other ones I've been to this year, but it was an absolutely amazing show and I had a blast. So Lincoln, see you next year. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell to be notified of every new video on Mondays. You'll also be able to see me stream live on YouTube. Thanks again, I really appreciate it. Have fun modelling!